Hey monkeys, we're back. You are watching Guitar Quackery Live, the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. Today, kind of like guitar building channel. Oh, look at this. I can turn this off today for the rest of the day. No more people coming to pay. How do you turn that off again? Yeah, here. Yeah. So no one else is going to bother us. We can work on the project. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to send the link to the customer. Copy and paste. I'm copying. And now I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to send, oh, someone called. Let me check that. What is he saying? I don't know. Paste and send. Delivered? Yeah. Okay. So we are continuing. So I need to check this. Okay. Someone called. Oh yeah, I remember someone called and I just turned off the phone, the ringer. So now I'm going to send my usual text message, copy and paste again. Let me see. Boom. And paste. Okay. Well, my message says that it appears that you called the Guitar Quackery helpline. I'm either on the phone or working on a guitar, which I was. To get a reply, please text back to this number with the following information. Blah, 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 blah. 3 things, you know. And now it says, please note that because of an overwhelming demand for services, I will only be able to reply to callers who provide all the information requested. Thank you very much. And some people do not provide all the information. I don't know why. It says clearly what needs to be done. Okay, so Partscaster. So this is our 3rd live stream today. I was doing this live stream, okay, American Trilogy. The 3rd headstock is in the case. So check out the now archived live stream of 3 headstock repairs. All American guitars. Well, actually 2 guitars. So all American instruments. So this did not come from a guitar, but it did come from an American instrument, the Gibson. Very old instrument. It's right there in the case. Okay, and now we're building another American instrument, which is called a Partscaster. It's right here. I haven't looked at it. I did unzip it halfway, and now here it is. All right, so we did a bunch of work already. Okay, last thing I remember doing was, hold on, which camera is that? Number 5? Yeah, so last time I polished the frets and they still look polished. Okay, let me put my switcher app here. Okay, so now I can switch cameras. Okay, so we have the hardware. to deal with. We need to install this pickup, and this pickup, and this pick guard. And I keep forgetting to bring the self-centering drill bit for this. Okay. Do we really need it? No, but I really wanted to use it because, you know, since we're live streaming, I want to show you the fancy tool, which I have. I have two of them. They're just not here. So this is what happens when you have a fabrication shop in one location and a kind of service shop in another location, which is this location. Okay, two people watching. One of them owns this guitar. Well, it's not a guitar yet, but it will be soon. Let me switch this. I prefer this neck rest. So we had a situation last time. The pickup that the customer purchased brand new was unfortunately defective. But fortunately, the manufacturer was really apologetic and nice. They sent him a new pickup. I won't mention the name of the manufacturer because I have nothing against them. And you know, he told me they were nice. So it happens. It happens. Okay. Let's move on. Right? It happens to the best of us. So a manufacturer is a factory, right? They hire people. And you can't micromanage your team, you know, and just look over everyone's shoulders. And, you know, so sometimes they just need to fill positions. They might not get the perfect people for the job, but show must go on, right? So it's either that or they close down the factory and then stop making the products. And that wouldn't be good. So sometimes things aren't perfect. Things aren't perfect here either, right? And that's just the way it is. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since my last confession. No, since I've seen this guitar, so I just need to refresh my memory. Okay, so this did have strings on. I can't remember if I cut the nut or not. I don't think so. So in this live stream, we're dealing with all the hardware. Okay, so let's deal with it. This is the mounting hardware for the pickup. Where do I put this? Here, recycling. How about that? So 3 screws and 3 pieces of tubing, surgical tubing, instead of springs. And now we remove this and we mount the pickup. Now I already tested this pickup. It works. So, and I tested the other one as well. You know what? Let's use the power tool, because time is money. Oh, I have a new display, and yeah, maybe I'll show you later. So I thought, you know, I was hoping I thought I was going to be live streaming this project 2 hours ago, or maybe even 3 hours ago. Well, it didn't happen. But I am doing it now. Okay. You see what I'm doing? Do I need to explain? I don't think so. Okay, so this is the bridge plate. So I had to do some routing here, obviously. And now we are going to mount the pickup. I like to twist the lead wires. So whenever current passes through a wire, it generates a magnetic field. That's unavoidable. So it can generate heat or a magnetic field. Not or, and. Now, fortunately, it does not always generate heat. Otherwise, it would always be a fire hazard, right? It does so in a toaster or in a heater, obviously, or incandescent light bulb filament. But most of the time, wires don't heat up, right? But they always generate a magnetic field. Now, let's say that the current is going in one direction. I'm just explaining this as I work, right? So there are two wires. One is blue, one is yellow in this case. So let's say it's going towards the pickup through the yellow wire, and then through the coil, and then away from the pickup through the blue wire. So the current that's going through the blue wire is equal to the current going through the yellow wire. It's the same current. So the current going through the yellow wire, I think this is the magnetic field thing. I think you used your right hand, or is it the left hand? I don't know. So if the current is going in this direction, the magnetic field is going in this direction, right? And now the current going in this direction is generating like that, a magnetic field going in the other direction. So those two magnetic fields are equal, just going in opposite directions. So they cancel each other out completely. So if the two wires are together, they don't need to be twisted. They just need to be together. Those two magnetic fields cancel each other out. So in order to keep them together, you can do a number of things. One of them is to twist them like this. Okay? So that's the idea. You see? So I hope someone learned something new by watching this. I already thought there was another surprise. So you should always be gentle, you know, with pickups and components. So I was doing this, and it didn't fit right away. It was just because it's a waxed pickup, so it's a very tight tolerance, and it had to scrape off some of the wax before I could fit it through. You see, now it's still kind of not going through, But I thought that maybe this was too big for this, or this was too small for this, but that's not the case. So it's going through, you see. Okay, great. Okay, so now that we know that it works, we put these screws here. And the tubing. So that's surgical tubing. It needs to be replaced after a few years. So that's instead of springs, okay? Okay, like that. It's pretty neat how this works. Okay, so it works the same way, just like a spring. You see? All right, you'll see when I install it. So these are, excuse me, waxed. So there's wax trapped here, which is normal. So it's going to feel a little bit stiff. Okay, I got to hit the right spot. Okay, great. But as soon as it pushes some of the wax away, it's easy to turn the screw. Sometimes you need to convince it to fit inside. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate. You know, I did think that this surgical tubing was a little bit too long. So what I usually use to cut these when I replace them is this. And I cut it at exactly this length. So this length. Okay, so I hit the back here when I cut it. And this looks a little too long. You see? So now, what should I do? Should I trim it a little bit? Let me see. Let's remove one of, well, I got to remove all three. So I think that longer isn't necessarily better, right? So at some point, I think there's a critical point, you know, past that point is just too long. And it just looked a little longer than what I usually am used to dealing with. So that's the length that I go for. See? So I'm going to cut it. You see? That's the right length. Why they cut it so long, I don't know. And they also cut it at an angle. Not a big deal, because we do have enough. And I got some more tubing anyway. Okay, I don't think that's a big deal. I'm just going to cut it like this. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So normally when I have a long tubing, I just cut 3 pieces like this, or 2 pieces, you know, for like a strat pickup. or 6 pieces for a Strat pick guard. So now that's that, and these are, this is the excess length, okay, which we don't need for anything. Okay, let's reinstall the tubing. So this was a little bit of a waste of time because they cut it so long. So yeah, if it's too long, you crush it too much, and I think that it lasts. The tubing lasts longer if it isn't fatigued too much. If it's just the right height and the right amount of stress, I guess, because this puts stress on the material when you crush it. Okay, so now you'll see this is much better, right? So when it just touches, this one needs to be driven in a little more. So when it just touches the tubing, so this spacing results in this pickup height, which is still too low away from the strings, right? So obviously now when you drive the pickup higher, when you raise the pickup, it starts to crush the tubing. And the point that I'm trying to make is if it's just the right amount of pressure, the tubing will last longer. Okay? Because more stress on the material results in a shorter life. Okay. Oh, we also need to install the strap buttons, I just realized. So now this goes here. I can kind of get a sense of the string height. Yeah, so the saddles are still too low. Yeah, this is going to be right. Now, let's install this pickup. But here I almost forgot to put these screws. So turn counterclockwise first. Because we want to hit the same threads that it cut previously. That's it. All right, and now I put this on 1, and I don't drive it all the way down. Okay, you see? So this is still moving. So yeah, so like I said, I don't drive the screw all the way down, and then I just tighten the screw with by hand with a screwdriver, or the screws, all 4 of them. Now we need to install this pickup. I'm going to remove this protective foil. Should always remove that, obviously. And we have a humbucker here, right? So, which is in the case, it should be, unless I lost it. I don't think so, but I don't know. It's been a while. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so that's the humbucker, which I tested already. It's a Duncan. Oh, come on. So that's an Alnico 2, it says, right? Where does it say that? Yeah. Alnico 2 Pro Humbucker. So here's the thing with Alnico pickups. So the oh, by the way, I'm going to build a Gauss meter. Let me show you this. Where do I have it? I have this nice dial. Where did I put it? Oh, did I lose it? A Gauss meter to measure, oh, here it is, to measure the magnetic charge. Check this out. This looks like, well, it's some kind of vintage. Oh, come on, please focus. Yeah, it came from a vintage piece of equipment. I don't know what, but so it goes in both directions. There's a plus and minus direction, right? So you could use this however you configure it, as a voltmeter or amp meter, or in my case, what is going to measure current. But the device that I'm building is going to be a Gauss meter when I have time. And, you know, I'm likely to live stream a project like this. So we want to measure, we want to use the Gauss meter to measure the magnetic charge of a magnet. So now, the important thing about Alnico pickups. Alnico is an alloy. That is initially not magnetically charged. And so you work with it, you can machine it, and it's not magnetically charged, right? You machine it into whatever shape you want. And then, so in pickup manufacturing, then you make your pickup, you wind your bobbins and all that, and then at the end, you charge the pole pieces or the bar magnet or whatever, right, at the end. So you see, this is using springs. It isn't using surgical tubing, right? So now, what I'm explaining is important. What I'm about to explain. Check out this box. So you have a pickup inside the box. And as I said, you charge the Alnico. So I'm going to assume that the customer wants the humbucker to be in this direct orientation, not like this, right? So I'm going to assume that. So this is the more common orientation, right? So yes, so you can charge an Alnico. Hold on a second. Piece, object made out of Alnico material. You can charge it simply by putting it against the magnet or putting a magnet against it, or as they do it in pickup manufacturing, they have a charging station with electromagnets that are, that are just calibrated, and they just push a button and they charge this thing. Important thing to remember is that you can reverse the polarity of an Alnico magnet by placing a strong magnet next to it in the, opposite north-south. So north and north repel each other, right? So if you put a north-facing magnet against this north-facing, and this one is stronger, and this is an Alnico magnet, it's going to reverse the charge, the polarity of the little magnet. And also, if you put it south to north, it can change the charge. So if you take a Gauss meter, you can measure that it changed the charge of the pickup. So people talk about tone, right? They're, and obviously which pickup you use is going to affect the tone of an electric guitar, obviously. So, but what changes the tone of the pickup? Well, one of the components of a pickup, one of the active components of a pickup, is the magnet itself. So now, if you somehow alter the charge of that magnet or those magnets that are inside the pickup, you are going to change that pickup. It's going to be a different pickup. So now, here's the mystery. Manufacturers of pickups know that, and they package their pickups like this. Now, what they do with it in terms of storage, I don't know. But when you go to a music store, so this is a box from a pickup, right? I use it for my tools. You can clearly see how they stack them up like this. So now, this box contains a pickup with magnets, and this box contains a pickup with magnets, and they put them together in the glass display, whatever. So if they put them together like this, or they put them together like this, I think one pickup charge affects the other one. I think. Well, I know it does. Now, by what amount, I don't know. And what the exact outcome is, I don't know. But that's a mystery to me, right? So the pickup manufacturers sell their pickups in these boxes that they know other people will be likely to stack together. And they should really know that you shouldn't put a magnet too close to a pickup that has Alnico magnets in it. So I'm trying to make a point here. I hope I'm making a point. And we all know that guitar players are searching for tone. In fact, there is a channel called Searching for Tone. And he is subscribed to this channel. He might be watching now. he was watching the previous live stream. Okay, so let's mount this pickup here. So this channel is an educational channel, right? Which is why I take the time to explain these things. So I'm using a hard surface. I don't want to do this on the carpet because I need to push down on these springs and use the alligator clips to hold them like that. Okay, and now I'm going to hook up the other side of this and pass high voltage through this until we see sparks and an arc. Just kidding. Yeah, so this is the easiest way to mount a humbucker. So now we place the humbucker here. And I see the tips of the two screws kind of, you know, show through the holes. And now, I have the wrong screwdriver. Damn. Okay. Maybe I should just use the wrong screwdriver. I would, you know, nobody would know, but except now that I'm live streaming, now I need to use the right tools, because otherwise people are going to be brutal in their comments. So, yeah. So now the two screws stick out a little bit. Now I can remove the two alligator clips. Put this away. I don't need this anymore. Yeah, and just raise the pickup. Very cool method. I made a video about this a long time ago when the Guitar Quackery channel was still in diapers. Okay, look, I'm just going to leave it at this height for now. There's a protective foil that I'm going to remove at the very end of the project. So this is the box, and this is the mounted pickup, okay? Just double checking and verifying that everything is okay, that it doesn't wiggle too much. It's all good. And now, let's do this. You know, another thing that I really can't understand is, no, actually I can't understand it. Yeah, forget it. I was going to say, why do they bother stripping this? Because we're going to have to cut it shorter anyway, but it's actually a good thing because you can test the pickup, right? So, and you should always test the pickup before you install it, because if it doesn't work, you want to know it before you do all the work. So I already tested it. Just making sure there's enough space and all. I'm going to use tape to hold this in place. Let me see. Is it hitting anything on the inside? So we don't want to mount this until we know that this fits. So I am simply going to take this plate, which I have right here. All right, you know, we need to double check everything. I am kind of noticing some misalignments here. Yeah. Partscaster issues. I'm not going to say who made this body. I know who did, but we had some issues with this body. So I had to do some extra routing here. And I have a feeling that I still need to do a little fix here, because I think that the pickup is hitting something. And this was supposed to be routed for humbucker, right? I mean, this is the whole point of buying a body that has all the cavities routed. But this is what I'm seeing. When I mount this, it seems like the pickup is hitting the edge. And now I'm going to focus this camera on this. Let me zoom in all the way. And this is what I'm seeing. I see that this distance is smaller than this distance. So now, when I put the control plate here, yeah, I can align it with this. But let's do something before we do any drilling. So this is going to be self-explanatory, but I'll still explain it. So I'm placing, so the pick guard is where it can be, okay, and the pickup position is forcing it here. I cannot twist it any more than this, right? Okay, so the pickup is trapped inside of that cavity. Okay. And now, based on the position of the pick guard, this is where I can put the control plate. And here, I can put this down. Okay, and now this needs to be parallel to this line. Okay, it's not even close, right? It isn't even close to being parallel to this line. And this is exactly what I was expecting to see based on this discrepancy. And this is really frustrating, because what needs to happen now is I need to do some more routing. There's just no other way around it. So going back to this view, it's impossible to see through this because obviously this is an opaque pick guard. But it feels like, you see, when I move it, the pickup is hitting something. And I cannot move it all the way like this to align this properly, because now it's completely hitting something. And if I kind of position the pickup here in the middle, look at this. Okay, let me put my thumb down here. Look at this. So I need to enlarge this damn thing. And you know, it could be this object here. It could be just this. So this was already routed completely wrong, right? Or it could be that these things are not in the right place, you know, these deeper parts. I don't know. No, not really. Only the screws go inside here. I already know that, well, I mean, I know that the owner of this guitar is watching this, and I can understand that he's not happy now, and neither am I. No one is happy. So let's measure this. Okay. So this is the measurement. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to lock it like this. And now, so as you can see, the lowest point of the pickup, it doesn't even go inside of these. So these are almost redundant. I mean, they are for the screws, and I can always shorten the screws. So I'm not going to mess with this. If I need to shorten the screws, I'll shorten the screws. Let's say if at some point we determine that the screw is hitting this, right? This here. I can just shorten the screw. Doesn't matter. But I need to route out something here. How much of it? I don't know. To be honest, I can just... Why they make it so tight? I mean, look at this. The whole pickguard is covering this. You can easily route all the way to here, all around. It's all the same. Why does it need to be so tight? So stupid. All right. So, welcome to Partscaster land. So I need to remove the neck. I need to remove the bridge plate. And we need to do some routing. There's just no other way around it. Unbelievable. I just got a message from the owner. What a drag. Yeah, what a drag. I agree. Well, he already told me that he's not going to buy from this company again. And you know, the only reason why I'll be cool and I'll keep it to myself, I won't tell it publicly which company made this, is because, you know, it's a smaller company. I don't want this to become personal. If this was one of the big ones, I would just tell you. You know, I've told you a lot about Martin, right? So, but, you know, a smaller company, whatever. I don't want it to get personal. So, but they are costing someone, right? So this nonsense is costing me or whatever, right? More time to make this happen. I really thought we were done with routing on this one. So I have another Partscaster. Well, it's actually not a Partscaster. It's a mod. It's a Telecaster, but you know the owner wants to modify things, and I tell him, "We're gonna do this by the hour." Yeah, but I'm not interested because I don't know what happens when I put it on the bench. All right. Where is that template now? So if you watch, so you're watching now part 10 of this. So if you watch, I think around part 6, 7, or 8, you will see how I had to modify the template, how this CNC'd body was completely off because the file, the CAD file that was used was just, you know, put together by monkeys, I guess. I don't know. So here's the thing. I have no idea now where that template is. I almost feel like now I need to take a break. Or maybe it's here. Nah, it's not here. Or maybe it is. Here it is. So I had to kind of modify this template on the fly. You should just watch the archived live streams of this. And at this point, yeah, I mean, I'm just so fed up with this. I can just open this up generously. How about we just mount it here and just route out the whole bunch and free up some space here for the pickup? Okay, let's do that. And you know, whenever I do that double-sided mounting with the super glue and all, every time I do that, I take a risk that I'm going to spill some super glue on this. And I'm just not going to take this risk now. I'm just going to tape it down. Simple. Because even if it moves a little bit, this isn't a neck pocket route. Nothing precision here. It's just an empty space that needs to be there. And like I said, even if we have more empty space around it, it's fine. What a piece of crap this body is. And you know, when the owner of this guitar, future guitar, wrote to them about how the neck wasn't fitting, they were saying, oh, what's the big deal? This is so easy. Just send it to us. We'll put the neck on. Yeah, as if I don't know how to put a neck on a body. I mean, right now, my blood pressure went up. Let me, I have this smartwatch. Since we're wasting time. Let me see. That's oxygen level. Breathe. Hold still, it says. Because I chuckled. 96%. Okay, now let's do this. This is going to give me my heart rate. ECG, okay. And all right, let's waste a little more time here. Okay, that it? Okay, where is it? Hold your finger on the crown, right? That's what it says. I feel my heart rate is probably faster. It says right there, 91 BPM, 95, 94, 95, 96, 97. All right. Okay, so the average was 94 beats per minute. Okay. See? I can get a heart attack because of this. Because of some CNC company. Okay, look. So this is good enough, all right? And I'm not going to waste more tape. Tape is also expensive. And now I need to put the router to use. I need to bring out the vacuum cleaner. All this nonsense. And I have a mess here because I'm doing some rearranging. It's an interesting project that I'm doing here for my shop. I'll show you. So these, so this is a black foam, self-adhesive, right? You can peel this off, and this is red. So this is the project, going to be the project. So you take this black foam first, and you place your tools like that. You trace them, you cut out all the way through. Then you peel off the back, and you stick the two together. And now you have all the cutouts for the tools through the black, and you see the red. And it looks nice. And then you put these in your drawers. So you see, every time I open and close the drawers, they get, the tools get like shifted. And also, if there's a tool missing, you don't see that it's missing. But when you have these cutouts, you see red. Oh, this file is missing. Where is it? So, yeah, it's an organizer. So I wanted to work on this project last night. And then I realized, well, what if I buy some other tool that, that I've been meaning to buy? Because there are some tools that I don't have yet. Like, for example, I have this wire stripper. but I want to have an additional one as well for really, really thin wires. And this goes with pliers, right? My pliers are in this drawer. So I need to buy that other wire stripper first to arrange my layout of pliers and the two wire strippers so that I can cut this thing once and then have it functional forever until I retire. So now, and there are some other tools that I wish I had and I'm going to have one day or whatever. So now this is forcing me to buy all the tools that I want because, well, because. I'm just trying to change the subject because right now I'm a little bit upset. I don't know if you can tell. It's getting to me. And, okay, this route a bit. Okay. Right. My heart rate went up a little more now. Okay, now I have to align the height. So this is a piece of MDF. This is the same height MDF. I just adjust the height here so that the router bit is at the right height. So it's tracing the thing. The thing meaning the template. Okay? All right. What's the big deal, right? I don't know what to say. Did you know that people who do sloppy work, they get paid the most? Because less time goes into making something bad. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so are we good? I think we are good. So I'm going to hold this here like that. And at some point I'll switch to the other camera, right? All right. It's going to be noisy. You know, I just realized they're having a conversation there. Let me see. Yeah, we need to be considerate. There's a bunch of people there, and this is really, really loud. And this mic does not pick up all of the noise because it's a dynamic microphone. That's right. Next to me, my mouth, right? So. Let me see. Oh, so why don't we talk about something else? Okay, they're leaving. All right, they left. Okay, everybody left. Good. All right, I didn't take that long. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to be rounding out this thing. The vacuum cleaner hose is right here. Let's make some noise. Okay, so now we need to go deeper, which means I need to change this route a bit. Okay, so I've been, oh, there's another group of people. All right, but now we're changing the route a bit. I've been doing something really exciting lately. R&D, research and development. So you know how Guitar Quackery is, I think, the only guitar shop that uses microscopy? Well, it goes to a certain level, right? Okay. And now I came up with something else. It's not going to elevate this. It's going to branch off. So the microscopy goes in this direction to a certain height. If you go back in time or in level of service, whatever, something else is happening now. Something else. That's super exciting. And I'm already providing the service to customers who have already paid me for the service. Hold on a second. Yeah. So I'm already, making money on it. And it's a really interesting thing. And you know how guitar microscopy is interesting on YouTube? Well, this might be even more interesting. So I had to buy some expensive equipment, more expensive than this. And I have the equipment right here. I'll let you have a glimpse. Yeah, you see it right there a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a secret because I've already been providing the service to some customers. But I want to kind of announce it and announce it on the main channel. And I'm editing a video that's the announcement video. That's going to have a bunch of this stuff in it, obviously. I want the video to be good. And it's going to blow some people's minds. Remember that. So if you're not subscribed to the main channel, this could be a good time to make sure that you are. The main channel is called Guitar Quackery. Okay? You're watching Guitar Quackery live, and I'm talking to 4 people right now. All of them are subscribed, I'm sure. Pentagore says I'm late. YouTube didn't send a notification. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do that sometimes. So yeah. So let me make some noise and let's talk more about the upcoming changes or developments. Yeah. Okay. I really hope we're done with routing. Okay. So let's remove this template. And let's go back to where we started from. So, the upcoming development. No, it's not an upcoming development. Development already happened. Like I said, I'm already providing the service. And, you know, as in providing for real. People already paid for it. So that's when it counts. When people pay for it, right? Then you know that you're providing a service. So it's going to be something that's really going to take everything on a... Oh, you see, this is much better now. Look at this. See, now I can see that I am aligning this, okay? And the way we're going to do this is the right way. How about that for change? Okay, so I'm going to do this. So I said something about doing it the right way, right? So the right way is going to require this tape, wider tape. Okay? Yeah, that's it. I cut it too long. Like I said, I need to save money because I just spent a whole bunch of money on the equipment. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm glad they didn't drill holes, okay? Because this would have been a complete mess. So they are in the business of making guitar bodies, and they can't even make a guitar body. That's really what it boils down to, right? It's kind of like an ice cream place that doesn't know how to make ice cream. So they might as well be selling donuts then, if they can't make a guitar body. Okay, do you know why I'm doing this? Okay, take a guess. Like I said, I'm doing things the right way for change. I'm tired of doing things the wrong way. So, can you guess what I'm doing? Uh-huh. So now I'm going to use a straight edge. And we don't need this anymore. And this. Okay. And I'm going to project this line here. So now how do I do this? Again, the right way, right? So I place this thick piece here. I align it. Well, maybe I put the camera here. Like I said, this is an educational channel. And, you know, I do this to educate the public. And, well, if you feel you're learning, you can click the link that says, buy me a coffee. See, the live streaming channels, they have that super thanks button. And I only have how many subscribers? Not enough to have that. So, but you can always do the, yeah, super chat. I don't have that yet. I will one day. but not yet. Okay, so any kind of thick thing. Okay, so I'm improvising, right, as I go. So here, I was going to use this to kind of align it with the inside, but this is thicker. So what I'm going to do is this instead. I'm going to use this piece, and I'm kind of positioning it, and I'm feeling with my thumbs that it's perfectly aligned with this. I can even use this. Look at that. How about that? Okay, even easier. Look at that. And I put this against this. So this is now in perfect alignment with this, and now I put the straight edge here. And now that straight edge, this straight edge is in perfect alignment with this. And now I simply extend this line here and here. Now, I know this doesn't show up too well on camera. Oh, it does. Okay. And now I do the same thing here. Okay. So let's move this here. Put this against. Except here there's a whole bunch of shit. Okay. All right. Look at that. It's blowout from the wood because they drilled through for the hole for these cables. Okay. So here, like that. Now that's aligned. Let's double check everything. Let me pull this cable out. Okay. Now, will you look at this? I just keep discovering things here. Do you see how this is lower here, this is higher here than here? Well, this plate is perfectly parallel, right? And I'm putting it against the bottom. And this is the same thickness throughout. So look at the discrepancy here. You see how this is thicker here than here? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm just pointing out how everything is misaligned on this body. Okay, so here it is. I put this here. Now I remove this and I put this against the MDF. Simple. Hold it down, remove this, and now draw a line here and here. Okay, so now I'm going to measure this distance, divide it in half, and then draw a line here and on the other side. And why are we doing this? I'm sure you know by now. So that when I align this, so that I know that I need to see that line through the center of each one of these two holes, okay? Like I said, let's do it the right way. This is what it takes, okay? So that's another thing about, you know, Partscasters and things like this. People say, yo, you're going to charge me $25, $35, $45 to drill a hole? Or, yeah, I will. Okay. What am I looking for? Oh, calipers. So once I have that cutout thing, I am no longer going to keep my caliper in the box. I'm going to put the box away. It's just going to have its own place on the layout. Oh, Rubbish Guitar Bloke is back on board. And good morning to you. So let's measure this distance. We're not going to do this in inches. I could just measure this distance on the inside. It should be the same. But I do expect some discrepancies. 26 millimeters. This is a little bit more than that. And let me make sure it's the same here. It's not. So these two lines are not even parallel to each other. Okay, so this line isn't parallel to this line, which means the thickness here is 25.91, and the thickness here, look at that, is 26.14. So guys, they can't even make, this is basically a rectangle with rounded corners, right? They can't even make a rectangle, meaning that the two lines would be parallel in a CAD in software. All right. So I need to take a separate measurement on each side. So here, it's going to be 26.44. Whatever, it was 44. 26.44, which is 13.22 half, right? It's blinking. That's because my battery is low. Okay, 21, 22, same things. Okay. So here, we make this dot here, and I can see the dot, and it's the same here. Okay, and now I just mark off this dot like that. Okay, that's that. Now let's move over to this side, take a measurement. .44, that's not possible. A whole millimeter? .5. You see, that's quite a big difference. So, yeah, man. Okay, so 12.5, that's 25, plus 0.25 to 12.5, so 12.75. I had it. Okay, 74, 75, that's all the same. And I got to do it right where I was measuring, here. Yeah, that's fine. It's close enough. Okay. And now I take my precision straight edge and I do this. I connect these two. Okay. And I draw a line on each side. So now I can see this line through this hole, right? But before we mount the plate, we need to put the pick guard back. Okay, off. So now you see how it's important to know where your starting point is, right? Obviously, the neck is the starting point for this, but then this is going to be the starting point for this plate. It's like if you build a Partscaster like this, and you put the neck on, you kind of align this against the neck, or wherever it fits, you drill the holes, then you are going to be facing a big surprise once you try to put this in. And everything needs to be sketched out and aligned properly before you do any drilling. Having said that, I should put the neck back, all right? All right. Oh, you know who is here today? This is the uniform. Dr. Williams. All right, so we did a live stream together. She was here and she left. Yes, guys, see you. Bye-bye. Oh, guys, I noticed, oh, you always forget to turn off that monitor. Oh, no, now you did turn it off. Okay, cool. All right. So did the new cleaning product work?
Yeah, I think it works better than the Fabuloso. Like, it was less sticky.
Less sticky?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't sticky at all. The Fabuloso would, like, have to stick the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's something to write about. Yeah. Okay, cool. Bye-bye. I bought a new cleaning product for the studio. So I'm not really responsible for that because, you know, it's the studio. It's, by the way, the studio. Fantastic studio. Music Makers. Well, Music Makers is a short name. The official name is Bob Elliott's Music Makers NY. The owner is Bob Elliott, and I just rent the space from the studio, right? But anyway, I help them out, and they help me out, and we help each other out. So sometimes I buy supplies, because, you know, I use some of the supplies as well, like, you know, these things and whatever. So obviously, I also benefit from the cleaning that takes place every evening here. So this time, I bought a cleaning product. And I really hate the cleaning product that they use. It gives me headaches, as in, gives me headaches for real. It's called Fabuloso. It's horrible. So I bought something more natural. Is this the neck? Yeah. I hope that's the right neck. And the guys just told me, well, you know what? I'm going to also cut out a channel for the damn truss rod adjustment. That's under the pick guard. Okay, because you can't access it, right? And so on some teles, when you have a pickup that's mounted on the body, you can remove the pick guard, and then you access this truss rod that way. Here, it's not really going to work with humbucker mounted on the pick guard, or also it doesn't work on with a single coil mounted on the pick guard. But I just wonder if there's any benefit. Nah, there isn't. So if this ever gets modified into a direct mount pickup that's mounted on the body, we'll be cutting it at that time. So right now I just want to finish the job. So as I was saying, the product they use, Fabuloso it's called. I hate it with passion. So I bought a new product that I knew would work fine because I know the product. I know the brand. Always back up the screws first, counterclockwise, until it clicks and sinks. Click. Okay? I heard it click. I already did this one. And now here. Click. You saw that, right? Okay. And I don't like to use a power tool for these screws. These are the most important screws on a bolt-on neck guitar, right? So I didn't tighten them all the way because I want to make sure everything is okay, all right? Where's that pick guard? One hour, 35 minutes, and 30 seconds to mount two pickups. Okay. I kind of like having the plate here for this. It's not critical, but it's just another visual reference. And I'm curious to see if this is going to be parallel to the plate. So same thing, I back up the screw first a little bit. Click, all right. So I put the torque on 1. That's just insurance. Or assurance. Just in case I don't stop like I did on this one. I went all the way. Okay, no, no problem. All right, where are you here? So let's continue doing things the right way. So now you see I'm pushing this until that line shows up at the center of the screw hole. And now I can hold this down like this, and you see I can move this left and right. So I make sure that this line lines up at the center. And now, same thing. Before we cut or drill anything, we double check against this plate. So we want this to be parallel, right? So this is too thin, it goes under the plate. But we want to take a known parallel object, like this I made maybe. It's a bit too wide, but I can see through it. It is parallel to the plate. So at least they got this right. That's a surprise. Yeah, so on some teles, even straight from the factory, the plate isn't parallel. This plate is not parallel with this one, okay? But here, it visually appears to be, and I just took a quick measurement. So I know this is in the right place. So now we're going to tape it down. Okay. This is against the neck. Here I have a little space, so I'm going to push it against the neck there, which means I need to push this plate against that plate. You see, I pushed it a little bit in this direction, and I'm visually checking this. It's not matching everywhere. Okay, so again, the plate was made by a different company than this, and even if it was made by the same company as this company doesn't get anything right, so whatever. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now so what do we know? We already tested the bridge plate against the neck, put the strings on. It works. This pickup isn't hitting anything anymore, okay? I routed it bigger than it needs to be, but who cares? It could be as big as this. It's fine. The space here looks okay. Everything looks parallel, equal distances. This plate is nested inside of this, and these screw holes, I mean the line that I drew shows through the center of each one of the screw holes. So everything's fine. Okay, so now I really wish I had that self-centering drill bit that I keep forgetting to bring. which would be the best tool to use. But it isn't the only tool that can be used. So, what else can I use? So, I can just eyeball the center, or I can, let me see. Not really. See, if I wasn't live streaming, I would just wrap it up now and I would say, okay, let me bring this thing tomorrow, make a note. It's not an option now. Okay. Okay, this will work. A quick little invention. So what I have here is one of those, let me show you. So here I have a whole bunch of these, and you'll see what this is. Okay, let me switch cameras. This is the ball end of a string. It fits nicely inside. And now I need to find a drill bit that fits exactly through the middle, and then I will mark my spot at the center like this. Huh? How about that? Like I told you, there's more than one way to drill a hole. Man, I still haven't reviewed this guitar. This is the new Fender Stratocaster, the new standard. I have it here. I've just been too busy. Okay, so I have fractional drill bits of all sizes. I'm going to find the one that fits perfectly through this hole. I think that's the one, the 46 gauge. Even 45 gauge fits. What about 44? Nope. So look at this. We have this thing. Fits right through. You see that? Okay. So that's the same thing there. And now I am going to drill some holes. We got to get out of that torque setting into the drill setting for drilling holes. Okay. Now, first we reverse direction and we drill backwards just to make a little, you know, dent on the finish, and then we reverse direction and we actually drill clockwise. Okay. So should I be holding this like that? Okay, counterclockwise. Let me check. Looks centered to me. Or I could even maybe just put a tape there to hold it and drill through the tape. Yeah, I think that's the best option. Okay. remove the tape and check. It's exactly going into the center. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we just transfer it here. Like I said, counterclockwise first. Clockwise. Check. Look good. So I'm going to move this camera away because it's in my way and I need full access to this. So now you know what I'm doing. I'm just doing the same thing everywhere. It's going perfectly into the center, middle. So again, if you learned something, let me see how many thumbs up I got. 5 likes, 7 viewers. That means that 2 people forgot to click like, or maybe they didn't like it. I don't know. If you didn't like it, just tell me why. You have the chat. I find videos and channels that I don't like, and what I do is I just find other videos to watch and like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Okay. Now, I wish I had that other tool, honestly, but I don't. So, whatever. But this is kind of interesting. And look, when I push it down like this, so when I really push down on the tape, you see how it's really holding it? Okay. Counterclockwise first. Clockwise. Okay. And now I look through and I can see from above. You have a little bit of a parallax shift from this angle, right? But I can see it's dead center. So this worked. And now I just go a little deeper. Not all the way yet. And let's keep doing this, because it seems to be working. you know, I save these ball ends, I mean, sometimes, because they come in handy for things. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes what you can use the ball ends from bass strings for. Something amazing. But you see, if you want to find out, you can't leave the live stream. And I need to see 7 likes because there's 7 people watching. And then I'll show you. Because you're going to like it. And I haven't made a video about it yet. I will one day. It's going to be a short video. But it's going to be a video that's going to get a lot of likes. The reason why I haven't made a video yet is because I simply forgot. I keep forgetting. So I'll make the video. No, I'm sorry. I'll show it to you in this live stream. Well, and maybe later I can even make the video before I leave the shop tonight. I need to publish more videos on the main site, on the main channel. Six likes. Current viewers, 7. I need 7 likes. Oh no, there's current viewers, 6. So someone really didn't like it and left. So someone really stubborn. Now I can talk against that person since they're not watching anymore. But instead of clicking the like button, just to find out what amazing thing I'm going to show you, they said, nah, screw that guy. I'm just not going to like it. I'm not going to watch it. Well, that's the choice he made. So he's not going to... He's never going to know. Unless he watches the replay. I'm assuming it's a he, because 99% of my viewers, according to the YouTube stats, are male. So most likely, it's a he. Okay. All right. So like I said, oh, now we have 8 viewers. Okay, I'm going to show you something really cool. And I need the number of likes to match the number of viewers. Now I have 8 viewers and 6 likes. So I need 2 more likes and then I'll show you something really cool. So I need you to pre-like this video. I think you can always unlike the video later if you didn't like it. Come on, 2 more likes and then I'll show you. So what is it going to be? It's going to be this, about this. It's going to be about this. I have this little tray, and here I have these ball ends from bass strings, and there's a reason why I have a bunch of them. And if you want to find out why, well, you gotta tell me that you want to know why simply by clicking the like button. That should be easy. Now there's 7 likes and 8 viewers. Come on. All right. So now I'm going to remove this pick guard. Remove everything. Yeah. Because I need to drill down to a certain depth. And this. Okay. So I can tell you that you are going to like what I'm going to show you. And I just need you to trust me and just click that like button. 6 likes. So someone unliked it. And now there's 7 viewers. So someone did not appreciate the ultimatum. Well, I'm not forcing anyone to watch. Okay, where are the screws? This looks like a bag of screws. 8 viewers, 7 likes. So now a new viewer just joined. And as I was saying, I'm going to show you something amazing as soon as the number of likes matches the number of viewers. So the new viewer, so these are screws, the wrong screws. And you're going to like it. There's no question you're going to like it. And in anticipation for this sharing of this amazing tip, I'm going to prepare something, because I do need to prepare something. Okay, here it is. 7-7. Okay, so another person left, but now I have a match. 7-7, so I need to keep my promise. So here it comes. You're going to like it. And those who left, they will never know what they're missing. Not our problem, right? So this is the guitar, yeah? These are ball ends from bass strings, okay? Here is one of them. Okay, so they are bigger than the ball ends from guitar strings. In fact, I have a guitar string here to show you, right? See the difference? Okay, so what can these be used for? Why do I keep a bunch of them? Because they can come in handy sometimes. So here, this is a ferrule. Sometimes I get guitars that are missing one of the ferrules. Okay, you can't just put a string through like that, okay? Because it hits the wood. So what you do is you put a string through this, and you see it's going to hit like this. And now you string it through, and look at that. Oops. Okay. That's it. Now it's properly, not properly, but it's safely nested inside of this hole, right? So, like that. So that was that. So that's the ferrule. These are the ferrules that are going to go here. And here is the ball end from the bass string. So they come in handy. So now you can tell me, was it worth a like or not? You can use the comment section. You see, but now I got 10 viewers and 6 likes. So someone unliked it during this presentation. So I guess no one cares. I don't know. Okay. Why do people watch this channel then? Okay, I need to find the right screws. So these are, well, it doesn't seem like the screws were provided. I don't know. I don't see them. So those are going to be regular fender screws. I'm just going to take one from here. Wrong screwdriver. The pickguard screws are going to be shorter. Okay, no problem. I just want to know what diameter drill bit to use. Well, now there are 7 likes and 10 people watching, so someone did like it. It's okay if you didn't like it. So I'm just, you know, aligning a drill bit against the screw. I'll show you. I don't need a microscope for that, but you know, this is what I'm looking at. So I think this is the right size. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put a depth stop on this. That's just a little piece of tape. And, you know, honestly, I can drill it a little bit deeper. It doesn't really matter. So how about that? Okay. Just so I have a point of reference. Okay, let's do it. So I already drilled counterclockwise, and I already kind of drilled a hole. I just need to hold it vertically. So I'm sure you noticed that I wasn't talking. Well, I'm doing irreversible damage, right? I'm drilling holes. Need to focus on the work. Oh, man. Ah, just what I needed. Okay. Okay. What happens next? Well, now we can remove these tapes. And we can mount the pickguard. And like I said, so there are no screws here. Really? Let me double check. So this was the box that came with this. I don't see them. These are the screws for the strap buttons. There's just not enough screws here. And for the string tree, okay, strap buttons. So 2, 4, 6 screws. Does this look like the right screw for the string tree? I guess, yeah. So there's 5 screws. How many screws does this plate have? Where's the plate? Where I put it? Okay. So I was planning on gluing this headstock tonight. Do another live stream. What time is it? 12:30. I don't know if it's going to happen. Oh, there's the plate is here. And we are going to be soldering. So hold on, this is the drill bit. So let's warm up the soldering iron. 11 viewers, 6 likes. So the likes keep fluctuating up and down. So people like it and then they dislike it. And they don't tell me why. What should I do? Should I show you my tits? Then you're gonna like it? I'm gonna hire a stripper. Then people will like it. Well, I'm sorry. I know that a lot of you, 6 of you liked it, right? So I'm not yelling at you. I just don't understand these other people. Just go find another channel to watch. Leave us alone. There's an old Chinese proverb. You can attract more flies with shit than with honey. Okay. So there were some screws included. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes. But I don't have all the screws that I need. So let's put the critical screws in. We'll deal with this later. Okay, so we're going to cut it a bit shorter, and we also need to install the output jack. Now, I'm not sure what's included. Kind of a mount. Okay, this one. Okay, good. This one's easy. So, Tele can have the old traditional 1950s, whatever you call it, thing, which is, to be perfectly honest, annoying. And it requires a specialized tool. I'll show you the damn tool. This to mount it. Okay, this is flippable if you're installing or uninstalling that little plate that's inside. But yeah, one day we'll be live streaming a project that requires the use of that tool. So this is already twisted. We can twist it a little bit better than this, since we're building a custom guitar. And I explained in the earlier part of this live stream why it's a good idea to twist the wires. Okay. And Yeah. And now we can mount this jack plate. Yeah, we can do that. And oh no, I have these drill bits here. They'll work just as good. I don't need the assortment of all of the drill bits to find the right one. See, these two screws are, in my opinion, a little too short for a jack plate, because you keep pulling on the jack plate each time you unplug, right? So it's a good idea to have longer screws. Okay, so I'm going to drill one of the two holes first. About this one. What am I hitting? So how should I explain this? I could be drilling it straight in the middle, but I want it to be kind of brushing against the bottom of this hole, and that's going to be pulling the plate towards the body more. The reason why I want to mount one screw first is obviously it's going to be holding the plate. Okay. So yeah, so I would recommend slightly longer screws for this. I mean, I am aware of the fact that they are kind of, pointing away from each other, so that obviously reinforces the whole thing. But I would prefer slightly longer screws for a jack plate. Okay, so that's the output jack and the two pickups. So I like to shorten the wires a little bit if possible. Here it's nicely labeled neck pickup and bridge pickup. And on this one we first need to solder the red and white wires together, because we're not doing coil splitting. Okay, let me see. Okay, which is which? Okay. God damn it. White and black, not red and blue. Why don't they just include the paperwork that reflects the product? So this is yellow and blue, and they tell me where the white and black goes. So is blue replacing black because it's dark, and is yellow replacing white, or is it the other way around? Let's Google it. Unbelievable. Okay. Blue, yellow, okay. Blue and yellow, let me see. Blue, yellow. This is promising. Seymour Duncan Forum. Now I gotta read the whole damn thing. Red, blue, white, black. It'd be so nice if they just included the paper that explains it. Here people are just asking. I'd assume red is hot, blue is ground, or vice versa. But we don't have red and blue, we have yellow and blue. Blue and red. Okay, let me do a search for yellow on this page. Find yellow. It's not even showing up on this page. Okay, let's go to another page. Find yellow. Yellow shows up 2 times on this page. Okay, white, yellow, green, yellow. I need blue, yellow, not white, yellow, or find yellow. 8 times. Okay, that's promising. White with blue and yellow. Which is hot and which is ground? Okay. Blue and yellow. That's why I'm not sure. Okay, just asking questions so far. I would guess that yellow is hot. I don't need a guess. I need the answer. Yeah, they're implying that yellow equals white and blue. Implying doesn't cut it for me. And then it says, from the Duncan page, and there's no information right on that form. Unbelievable. Once you get it figured out, I'd love to hear your review. Okay. Someone is guessing that yellow is hot and blue is ground. The yellow ended up being the hot. Yeah, he doesn't say how he found out. And that's it. Duncan. Unbelievable. And these I know. Okay, so the yellow, I'm sorry, the white and red should be together. And I really hate this cable, this kind of cable. So I'm just going to shorten it just a little bit. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna have about keep it at this length. I never really trust wire strippers that they're not going to damage the actual wire. So here, I was lucky. No damage. So let me unwrap this annoying thing. So the pickup wire color codes are not standardized. So whichever company makes pickups, they can come up with their own. And they do. And they did. They have. But I've installed Duncan pickups many times, and I'm still going to double check this paper that came with this pickup. Where's the paper? Red and white should go together. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, red and white together. Green and bare excuse me, together, and then black is hot. Okay, just the way I thought. Okay, so let's unravel this. Yeah, man, we're not gonna finish this guitar tonight. I mean, I think I still need to cut the nut, and I'm hoping to do a headstock repair, glue up part of the headstock repair tonight. Although, to be perfectly honest, I am just kind of stressed. I don't think I'm going to be doing a headstock glue up tonight. I'm stressed because of this additional routing that had to be done, and this thing not lining up, and okay. They're long enough. So my good wire strippers for this thin wire are at the other shop. But I can do it this way as well. You just need a soft touch. That's it. How about that? Put these two together. I like to use a cotton cloth to cover the guitar when I'm soldering. So cotton, not synthetic. Okay. Where's my solder? Nope, not much left. Look at that, I need to buy more. Okay, so I'm gonna heat up this thing, make it hot. That's it. And now trim it. Okay, and now put shrink tubing on this. Which I have right here somewhere. Where are my tweezers? Here. Okay, and I'm gonna need my heat gun, which is right here. Okay. So we want to make sure that this is buried, like around here, I guess. And now we blow hot air. And it's going to shrink it. And when it's really hot, like it is now, you can also squeeze it a little bit. That's it, all right? So we're going to put some shrink tubing here as well. Yeah, why not? I can always shrink it later. I'll just leave it like this for now. And sometimes if you want to make it, yeah, I guess more cosmetically, you can put some shrink tubing here to hold this. Don't really need to do that. And you can put some shrink tubing here. Here. So this would be a larger. And you kind of need to plan this out so that you put in the right order. But I'm tired. Let me see. They both work. I think I need to remove this. Put all of this inside. Okay, so now I can either put this through, or I can even attempt to do this, which is probably better. Because this is out of the equation, right? Okay, and now I can put this back. So it's important to put shrink tubing here, because this wire is exposed and it can touch another component on the inside, right? And I can heat shrink this later after I really decide if my wire lengths are good. So now this is the neck pickup, and that's so where is this going to go? That's going to go here. It says neck, yeah. So they labeled it nicely. I'm not sure who is the maker of this, but this was done with love and care. Okay, you can tell. See, this is why I hate these wires, 4-conductor wires, because this is so flimsy. Really not what I want to see inside of a guitar. And you know what? I guess I don't even need this. I think I can just shorten this like that together, solder it here, and then solder the other one there, right there. It's gonna work. Oh, I'm covering everything. Okay. I think this will work. But I don't like that it's coming from the side. I would prefer to see something like this. But this is not long enough. Or it's barely long enough. So I think we need to redo this part. Okay, now I already put this here, so we need to do this in a different way now. Where are my strippers? Maybe like this. I guess it's this size. And like I said, I never really trust wire strippers 100%. Because now if I damage the internal, those microscopic wires, then we have a big problem. Okay, I did not damage any wires. Now we want to make an incision just through the surface and then cut it out this way. And maybe even use this tool just to split it. And they always install it so that you can't unravel it from this side. So yesterday something funny happened. I didn't think it was funny at the time. It was annoying a bit. Okay, nice guy, but I was working on his guitar, and he left it here for a long time, which I told him we can't do this because he had some travel plans and whatever. And I was live streaming this thing. And then he comes in and he was watching the live stream. It's like, oh, you know, can you tell me a little bit of what you did? It's like, no, I can't tell you. Man, these things are so annoying, these cables. See, this is why they're annoying. So this is super stiff, right? Super stiff, and this is super flimsy. So it's kind of like 10 degrees flimsier than this. So now I have to solder it here, and look at that. You know, this is like really pulling on this, right? You see how this just doesn't feel right. There's no good way of doing this. All right. Obviously, it's too long. So maybe we should put a little bit of shrink tubing there. Just how long should it be? Okay, so now I want to push it back a little bit. Okay. And now we want to cut it shorter, right? So that we can solder it here. And then this is going to reach here to this point. Okay. So this is where we want to cut it. Around here. All right. Let's cut it here. Okay. And now we want to put a little bead here. So we want to warm up the workpiece first. See, like that. Okay. Let's prime this thing. Okay. I think I want to put a little more solder here. I'm never happy with the way these things come out with this kind of wire. Okay, now we can let go. And now we take this and okay, see, we got enough slack. And it's important that it doesn't move before it's completely solid. Now that's the bridge pickup. Here we have the neck pickup. So the neck pickup, I hope, see the problem? So if we're wrong, okay, I'm going to cut them both at, to the same length, right there. So now I would want to cut this one shorter, but instead I'm going to just do it this way. So this is pushback wire, and we're going to connect it to this. So it's got to be in the right place exactly before you solder it, right? It's got to be nicely positioned. The wire has a little tension, and I want it to be pulling in this direction. Maybe we do this. Okay, like I said, I want it to be naturally pulling in this direction. Okay, that's it. Okay. And now this wire, I could connect it, so it's pushback wire, right? How about through here? I know you don't see what I'm doing, so why don't I move the camera? This is all the solder I got left. Okay. So I'm just going to melt this and push this through and let it cool off. There you go. Okay, and now we have the output jack, which is this thing here. So we want some slack, so we can pull it out if we need to service it, and not too much. Let me see. Okay, so this wiring, okay. I think this is fine like this. This way. So black should be ground. Oh, but you see, I forgot something. I forgot to connect, ground wire to the bridge plate. Well, I didn't forget, I almost forgot. Battery died. Okay. So I need to find a wire which was not included. So normally this would be easy. I am renovating something. I'm like rearranging something here. Okay. I'm building shelves and stuff there. It's a project, ongoing project. So I keep moving things around. Okay, so I have some scraps. So these are too short so far. How about this one? Okay, this one. All right. I need to clean up my bench a little bit first. Okay. Okay, so that's all the solder I got left. Okay. Okay, I got some juice in this battery, I guess. So as you can see, I had to remove this bridge plate a few times. So not surprisingly, they didn't think of a grounding wire. Alright, so let's just put this wire through. And is this a solid wire? Or yes, solid wire inside. Okay. Well, it'll do the trick. No, it's not solid. Stranded. Maybe I strip it more. Okay, that'll do the trick. So I'm going to put inside of this hole like this. Okay. That should do it. Let's recharge the battery. I never charge the batteries all the way up because it's not good for the batteries. Okay, now I'm just tightening the bridge plate. Technically, there are 2 screws that we're missing. I'm not missing the screws, I have the screws right here, but the bridge plate has 2 more holes. But we're going to hold off on this for now. Now, this project has been full of surprises. So we're going to double check the connection to the jack. Let's check. Just to make sure. Okay. Okay, so the black wire is connected to the output jack plate, right? So that's ground. Now, the white wire, I can't really test it right now because I already installed the output jack. So you know what? I'm just going to have to trust it. That's going to be an easy fix if it's not connected properly, okay? I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. Just need to finish this. Once again, this is pushback wire, so no need for wire strippers. This is all I got left, okay? Wish me luck. All right. And now this is all I got left. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this through the same hole there, okay? As we did with the other one. But I'm going to prime it first. There you go. Now, this is more valuable than gold tonight. I don't care about gold, I care about that. Okay? No motion until it's and I almost forgot about this damn thing again. So normally I wouldn't be connecting wires like this to ground. The reason why I'm doing it is because of this really annoying 4-conductor wire, which I really hate working with, and I don't want to solder anything around it. So this is now so short, I need to hold it with tweezers. Again, I'm going to tin it or prime it, whatever you want to, however you want to call it. Okay. Now that's all I got left. Okay. I don't think you need to see a close-up of this. It's the same thing you've seen already. It goes through that hole. And it's all soldered together now. And now, just because we have this thing, I'm going to add a little bit of solder to the whole joint. Here, it just melted into it, did it? Oops. Something fell. I dropped my soldering iron holder. Damn it. Ah. All right, let me check. Okay, so this is the first time ever that I had the exact amount of solder left for the job. Okay, let's put it together and then let's plug it in and test it. Okay, and we have, I saved 2 screws. Okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So let me put these tools away first. Now let's test it. So I'm not going to put the strings on tonight. I can finish this on. I know that he wanted to pick it up on Saturday. I think I can finish it even on Saturday. Today is Thursday, for those of you watching this in replay. So, simple test. The tap test. It better work. It better be working, right? So first, the amp is working. I can hear that. And now we just plug it in. Why isn't this cooperating now? Okay. God damn it. So this hole is very small. And I gotta find the sweet spot because this is a switchcraft jack, which is the only one that should be used on a guitar, which means it's got this long tang. Because it's a long tang, it's got this space, which then when it pushes here, it pushes it against here, and then it pushes it against this wall. And these holes on a Telecaster are usually bigger. I can tell now that I'm looking at it. So sometimes you need to find the right spot. Okay, this seems to be a little bit less tight when I turn it in this direction. But this whole hole is too tight for a Tele. And I can't plug it in. Amazing. Let me explain. Okay, this is a switchcraft output jack. I have another one here. Yeah, how about this? Those about switchcraft. Now, so this is a switchcraft output jack, and this is a piece of shit Chinese output jack. What's the difference? And by the way, this is a piece of shit American body, right? American made. Now, when you plug this in, look what happens to this thing. Because it's so long and curved, which is how it should be, it pushes it that way. You get a better contact and safe. Everything is more secure. Now this import jack has this short tang, so now nothing really happens here. So this would work inside of the little narrow hole, really tight hole. But this one, first of all, it barely fits inside the hole because this size is also rubbing against the hole. And then when I want to do this, you see how this bends upwards like this? So now this bends beyond this. So when it needs to go across this ball, like right there, it's bending up. You see? In order to go over this hump. And because it's bending up, and this is a hole that's as tight as this is simply hitting the inside wall of the tight hole over here. So, yeah. A Telecaster, I think it has a 7/8 hole going through. And I think this is more like a 3/4 hole. And how do you enlarge this hole? It's not as easy as one might think. Because these holes are drilled with what's called a Fastener bit. And you cannot now put a Fastener bit inside of this empty hole. A Fastener bit only can drill into a blank piece of wood. So our only option might be to use a Chinese output jack, but I don't know if this thread is going to fit inside of this. You see, it does not. Of course it doesn't. So just to install an output jack on this piece of shit body, you know what? I'm going to tell you which company made this body. Guitar Mill. The Home. Made in Tennessee since 2005. What they say, the home of something vintage correct bodies or whatever. Yeah. Well, I have an idea. This thing. So I'm going to go inside of that hole. How should I explain this? I'm going to explain it with this tube and cut like that to enlarge part of it so that this thing that I just explained fits during the insertion of the jack. So this screw hole is here. So I gotta hollow it out off to the side a little bit. And at what depth do I need to do that? I guess we gotta measure it. With what? About this much. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this. Yeah, this is a nightmare. So I'm careful not to damage the wires, obviously. I still can't put it in. So I can remove this one washer. That's going to reposition the I don't even know what my tools are anymore. It's going to reposition that tang. Is it called a tang? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever they call it. Ah! God damn it. Let me drill a little more. So, at what depth am I doing this now? see. This is how I should measure it against this thing. The thing is that I don't like the idea of removing that washer, because it's a spring washer. Oh, well, now it's completely off. But to be honest, I prefer to have this washer here. Yeah, this makes more sense. Oh, now it's in a completely different spot. So I need to drill it more over there. Hold on a second. Well, I actually need to go deeper than this. Yeah, okay. I guess it hit a softer part of the wood. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a feeling that this might be it. So, this hole is so small, you couldn't install the regular Telecaster I don't know anymore. You see? Now we plugged it in. Okay, so I just gave a review to Guitar Mill. I think I earned the right to review their product. Spent countless hours modifying this CNC cut body, right? Now let's test the pickups. I'm just going to tap the pickups with this. This is just a piece of steel, right? So it's plugged in. The amp is, well, not cranked up all the way, but that's it. So this has a protective foil on it. I can hear the pickup. I don't hear it now. In middle position, I hear it. Volume and tone work. This, ooh, really loud. Okay, it works. So, that's good news. I can unplug it, I can plug it, I can unplug it, it works. Okay? Now, I know there's sawdust inside, so let's vacuum it out. Yep. So, yeah. Okay, so that's that. Did I unplug the soldering iron? No, it's still hot. Look at that. Yeah, this body has been a nightmare. And I just hope that it doesn't give me any more grief, because it's been terrible. But I'm impressed with the quality of this control plate. The wiring and the soldering and everything is great. So, I don't know who made it, but they did a great job. But guitar mill, so here's the thing. This is my experience with guitar mill now. Next time someone brings me a Partscaster, and they tell me that the body is from guitar mill, I'm simply going to not take the job. And I know that I can, you know, obviously with the live streams, charge by the hour, etc. I don't need a bad experience for the customer. I'm just going to tell them, watch the Partscaster Tele Full Build. I'm going to rename this into Partscaster Nightmare Full Build or something like that. Because, and this is not the first Partscaster Nightmare, which is why I do these live streams now. One of the reasons. Because you can never explain this to a customer later. Okay, so we're missing 2, 4, 5 screws on the pickguard. So 2, 4, 5, right? These 2 screws, I'm not going to install them anytime soon, because 4 screws are holding this bridge plate. These 2 screws are not going to make any difference whatsoever, and I just want to hold off on drilling this thing. Don't need to drill. Don't need the screws at all, so they can always be installed at some time in the future. Okay, we need to install the strap buttons. I am simply not going to do any more drilling or cutting or routing or anything of that nature tonight. I'm simply not going to do that. Or any work at all, actually. Still need to clean up everything. Yeah, I'm really frustrated. Because of this company. And, you know, I might as well tell you, the customer had a horrible experience with them. He told me a little bit about the how they were treating him. So don't buy from them. Okay, so the neck was from a different company, Musicraft. Completely different company. Excellent work, okay? But you see, this is great, okay? The control plate, the neck is great. The bridge, you know, no complaints there. But the body is, oh, and the output jack was great, right? Switchcraft doesn't get any better than that. But you see how things just don't fit. And that's the nature of Partscasters. Trying to fit things together that, you know, came from different manufacturers, and you try to put them together. All right. Oh, let's check my heart rate. Why not? Okay. So, I say, where is it? Okay. '83 BPM, 86, 89, 91. 92, 93, 97, 98. (100 BPM). You can see it in the upper. So the average BPM was 96, right? But I saw it go up to 100 in the corner, right? In the upper left corner. And it was higher during the procedure. Blood pressure and all that. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You can't pay me enough to work on this guitar mill products. Never again. I don't need it. That's the last one ever. Okay, friends. That's that. So, it's late again. 2 a.m. I need to clean up. A major announcement coming soon on the main channel. I already recorded a project, kind of like a demo of this thing. On this channel, I was live streaming, but I made it into a private live stream. So that it's archived as a private live stream, but you can't change the date, right? So, you know, historians one day will analyze this, I guess. So once I make the announcement on the main channel, I will also make that live stream, archived live stream, public. So, because it'll take a while between the announcement and a project that I will either record for the main channel or just live stream, because I've been doing a lot of work without live streaming, to be honest with you, lately. I just, you know, just to get through projects, because the live streams are kind of interfering with schedule, I guess. So I do have a schedule, right? People book appointments, and I know at what time they're coming. So now, can I really start a live stream if somebody's coming in an hour and 10 minutes? I don't know, right? So, but if I have a guitar on the bench and someone comes on time, right? They have an appointment, you know, I just stop the work. I don't need to stop the live stream and then start over and whatever, right? So that's one of the reasons why I was not live streaming in the past, I don't know, month or so, I guess. I mean, I was streaming, just not as much, right? So I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I think I will slow down on the number of live streams, because now I already have, what is it, over 200 live streams that are recorded. So if I do it once per week, it's enough, right? Okay. Yeah, friends, I'm really tired and stressed, so I need to go, okay, before I say anything that I'm gonna regret. All right, so be well. 6 likes. Yeah, that doesn't really encourage me to continue these live streams, but there are so many good people that are watching, so I gotta, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go now, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.